And for the individual, for the person who's in the middle of a divorce and it is, it's ugly and it's hard and it's the scorched earth type of litigation, is it possible to get out and transition into something that's more healthy?
It is 100% possible. And so I preach this all the time. I'm like, it's not a unicorn to have a healthy divorce, and is it hard? Yes. Is divorce in itself hard? Yes. It's not, I'm not just going to make it lollipop land just because I'm titling it divorce healthy. It doesn't mean that it's easy. It does mean that it is healthy, meaning that on the other side of it, you're able to understand your piece of it, understand how you got there, understand where it is that you want to go, and being very purposeful about every decision that you make from that point forward to guard your space, your boundaries, keeping your environment healthy, but also giving yourself grace that you're not perfect. That is, in essence, how you achieve a healthy divorce. And of course, you want that same thing for your children, which is the big piece.
Totally. So that's a wonderful message, and I hope everybody took notes right there. I have a question, Ashley-Nicole, because a lot of my viewers are dealing with a situation where they have an ex-spouse or soon to be ex-spouse who, may not necessarily be very mentally healthy. And they often ask me, how can I make this more healthy if the other side is like nuts? What are your thoughts on that? How can somebody deal with that and move more towards a healthy divorce if the other side is just high conflict? They may have a personality disorder. They may be a narcissist. They may be a sociopath.
Yep. Well, none of that has anything to do with your reaction to it. So I totally understand that those situations are all incredibly difficult, but I want you to remember this. When you taught your child how to eat, you modeled exactly what it was like to open your mouth. That's what you did. You said, ah, or you motioned your mouth opening as you were moving the spoon to their mouth. You just did, I promise. And so because you did that, I want you to remember that in this moment, you're modeling how to handle conflict. You're not modeling how to eat. You're modeling how to handle conflict. Just one model is good enough. All they need is one. They just need to be able to see it from one side. And so it does not mean that the two of you have to be perfect. It means that you have to handle conflict appropriately. It has nothing to do with the other person on the other side. Yes, are they generating the conflict that you're now modeling for how to deal with? They are. You can say, maybe there's a silver lining because I'm teaching my child how to deal with conflict right now. I promise you, your child is going to go through conflict at some point in time in their life. It's either this that you can completely have your hands on and help coach and control them on how to manage conflict through it, or it could be something that would be totally outside of your hands. And so I think that, we don't want to call any of those things into the universe, but we all understand what I'm saying. And what I'm saying is, let's say that the other side is a narcissist and there's nothing you can do about that. Every single narcissistic thing that they do, you have a reaction to. That means your child is going to be able to see, this person's difficult. They're doing difficult things. They're making difficult decisions. And then this parent is dealing with that difficulty in this way, rolling with the punches, ignoring that behavior. Not if you infuriate that behavior or you even acknowledge it, you're giving it energy, versus if you're not acknowledging it, you're redirecting that energy into positive energy. They're seeing how you move between those two spaces. A lot of the advice on how to do that is in the book. It's also on the Divorce Healthy podcast. But these are things, there are books that you need to read. You need to think about yourself and how you manage conflict. How did your parents deal with conflict? How did you get a model of conflict? Because how you model it is affecting how you're reacting to it and what the other person's doing. And so as long as and if your child, let's say that you do all of this and your child sees, for this example, we're just going to use mom. So mom was being attacked consistently by dad. Children can understand that. They're not idiots. They know what's going on. If you are reactivating to every time that you're being triggered, then they're learning that when you're triggered, you just activate. Versus if you take a deep breath and a pause, you restructure that into something positive, or you move forward from it, or you don't give it, you're not enabling that negative energy, or you're removing yourself from the situation. You are actively showing them how to do all of that. So figure it out first for yourself so that you can show them. The greatest thing that I can use as a metaphor is if you're in a plane, they tell you you have to put on your mask before you put your child's mask on. That is not because they're trying to sacrifice your child. They're saying you cannot function as a parent if you can't breathe. in order for you to have your natural instincts to be a parent, you have to have oxygen going to your brain. That's the same thing in this situation.
Totally.